this disease remains deadly. And just take a look at the lives that have been lost just over a 14-day period. 2,741 people no longer with us, just over a 14-day period, an average now of 233 lives lost. On average every day over the last 7 days. We continue to see record-breaking ICU capacity, hospitals that are getting filled up, a surge that we are experiencing, not dissimilar to other parts of the country, but putting real challenges on our staffing here in the state. The real hotspots right now, San Joaquin Valley, it's 0%. And in Southern California, the most populous part of our state, at 0%, now in the surge phase of the ICU planning. So again, just because it's at 0 doesn't mean there's no ICU available. It means we're now in the surge plan. 20% plus or minus is the surge capacity pursuant to the plans that we have socialized and are now being utilized and advanced in those critical regions. What we currently are doing in alternative care sites, the alternative care sites are pre-identified. We have 11 of them all up and down the state of California. I mentioned on Friday the warm status on a number of sites that are not on this screen, though the 4 sites that are up on the screen are not only in warm status, they're now in active status. The others in warm status, these specifically in active status. We also talked more detail about these Department of Defense teams. We have specific asks out for 10 teams of 20. We are currently able to identify 75 personnel that will be deployed, currently have not, but are about to be deployed to critical sites here in the state. You can see as it relates to the stay-at-home that we are likely, I think it's pretty self-evident, going to need to extend those original dates. You may recall that the expiration in San Joaquin County was on the 28th of this month, in Southern California, the 30th of this month. Based upon all the data and based upon all these trend lines, it's very likely, based on those current trends, that we'll need to extend that stay-at-home order. You recall it was a 3-week order when we announced it a few weeks back, just previewing the likelihood of those stay-at-homes being extended, certainly in those 2 regions. The Moderna vaccine has arrived, and that is indeed good news. 672,600 to be exact is what we anticipate receiving this week. The 110,000 we already have. As we've said many, many times, this is storage for this vaccine is much easier than the ultra cold storage of Pfizer. This is just cold storage, which is the equivalent of freezer storage for the Moderna vaccine. It's a 22-dose regimen, like the Pfizer vaccine is a 2-dose regimen, 21 days Pfizer, 28 on the Moderna. And we, of course, are encouraged by the Moderna vaccine in relationship to the storage needs in terms of our distribution, in terms of our logistics. We're now able to get these shipments into rural parts of the state, into parts of the state that are more remote, and that is indeed encouraging. I just want to update you today, the Drafting Guidelines Working Group is meeting again. And then on the 23rd, and this is why I wanted to make you aware of this, between 2 and 4, the 60-member Community Advisory Committee will meet with the 16-member Drafting Guidelines Work Group. And they will work through details and nuances, asking all the questions that we're all asking about subpopulations and exactly who within that next categorization of priorities are going to get the vaccines. That's a public meeting, 2 to 4 this week on December 23rd. And you can watch it. Go to covid19.ca.gov, covid19.ca.gov.